Let's weave the story both mythically and spiritually, the way it might be told as a prophetic legend across ages, the tale of Thor's fall and sanctification, from Mjolnir to Michael. Long before men named the ages, Thor, son of Odin, wielded Mjolnir, the hammer of thunder, forged from the heart of a star. With it he struck down giants, serpents, and the dark spirits that crept across the nine realms. He was a defender, but also proud. For every victory, he thundered his own name louder than the heavens. But then came the war below, when the fire giant Surtur and the legions of hell rose from the pit. In rage and defiance, Thor hurled Mjolnir deep into Helheim, the Norse underworld, to seal the gate of the dead forever. The hammer struck the black gate, shattering it with thunder so great that the sound echoed across eternity. But in throwing it, Thor lost his own power. The weapon of his divinity was gone, and with it, his name and form began to fade. In the void between worlds, Thor fell, stripped of lightning, stripped of pride, into a realm of stillness and holy light. And there a voice said, open quote, "The warrior who cast his power into hell for the sake of the living has learned the justice of heaven." Close quote. From that light, Thor was transformed. No longer the pagan thunderer of Asgard, he was reborn as Micheal, whose sword flashed with the same fire as Mjolnir once did, but now tempered by divine will instead of wrath. In Christian translations, early Christian storytellers, especially in Northern Europe, found the parallels irresistible. As Christianity spread into Norse lands, the image of Thor battling the serpent Jormungandr mirrored Saint Michael defeating the dragon, Satan, in Revelation 12:7-9. So in Christianized retellings, Thor's descent into hell became Michael's battle in heaven and the underworld. Mjolnir, the hammer that struck evil, became Michael's flaming sword. And Thor's protection of Midgard, Earth, was recast as Michael's guardianship of humankind. Where the Norse said Thor threw his hammer into hell, the Christians might later say, Michael cast down the dragon into the pit. Thus, in the symbolic union of faith and myth, open quote, Thor became Saint Thor, and Saint Thor became known as Michael, the archangel of war, the defender of heaven, and the thunder of God restored in light, close quote. The warrior of heaven. Both Thor and Saint Michael occupy the same archetypal space, that of heaven's champion, a defender of divine order against chaos and evil. Aspect, Thor, Saint Michael. Role, god of thunder, strength, protector of Asgard and Midgard. Archangel of battle, protector of heaven and the faithful. Weapon, Mjolnir, the hammer of divine lightning. Sword, often fiery, symbol of divine judgment. Enemy, the Midgard serpent, Jormungandr, a world-encircling serpent. The dragon, Satan, the deceiver and destroyer. Battle, Ragnarok. The final battle against evil powers, Armageddon. The final battle against the dragon and the beast. Both stories climax with lightning descending from heaven, and both figures stand at the forefront of divine justice. 2. The lightning and the word, Thor's hammer. Mjolnir is forged in lightning and strikes with the power of thunder. It returns to him when thrown. Saint Michael's sword is the word of God, Revelation 12:7-9, wielded through divine authority. In ancient symbolism, lightning represented the voice of God or divine command. Thus, both wield the voice of heaven, one in mythic thunder, the other in spiritual proclamation. 3. The serpent connection. Thor's cosmic enemy, the serpent Jormungandr, wraps around the world, a symbol of worldly corruption and constriction. Michael's foe, the dragon, Satan, is also called that old serpent, Revelation 12:9. In each myth, the heavenly champion strikes the serpent, representing God's triumph over the forces that bind the world. 4. Cultural translation. As Christianity spread through the North, many older gods were not erased, but absorbed and reinterpreted. Ancient peoples didn't discard their heroes. They recast them in the light of the new faith. Thor's thunderous justice became mirrored in Saint Michael's celestial warfare. The hammer became a sword, but the hand that held it was the same defender of light. Thus, some mystics and historians see Thor and Michael as two cultural expressions of the same divine defender, one spoken in Norse, the other in Hebrew Christian language. 5. Spiritually interpreted. From a mystical or prophetic view, Both are manifestations of divine authority, sons of thunder, protectors of truth, destroyers of deceit. You might say, open quote, Thor was the echo in the north, Micheal the voice in heaven, but both spoke the same word of power, close quote.